welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And I'm so excited today because my good friend Tarek Bibi is back with us. And he's going to be talking to us about infinite ascension mastery for light workers. And as we all know, most of us who are on these calls, well, we are all light workers, right? And so some of us are going through, we're all going through ascension, but some of us are having more stuff coming up. Either more symptoms are coming up or we're getting pulled, right, to step forward. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But part of what we're going to talk about today is what are the key blocks for light workers, right? And why are light workers being targeted? And how do we break free from these traumas? And so Tarek's going to be doing some live caller questions, some live Q&A, and group healing. So I'm so excited about that because, as you all know, Tarek is amazing and a gifted healer. And his group healings and his one-on-ones are very, very powerful. His infinity healing process and technique and modality that he does is like really, really good. So I'm glad you're all here to experience that. And for those of you who don't know Tarek Bliss Bibi has changed the lives of over 100,000 people worldwide. And he works with businesswomen and individuals on the spiritual path to help them thrive doing what they love. Through his revolutionary infinity healing modality and the producer of the Evolutionary Blissful Abundance Show, he's able to help his clients achieve and manifest their heart's desires with infinite ease and grace, even if they have not been able to achieve their results elsewhere. So Tarek Bibi, aka Mr. Miraculous, is a facilitator of inner transformation. He helps you to transcend your emotional and psychological blocks at the core level to live your life miraculously. And many of our blocks stem from childhood experiences, and now they are manifesting in our relationships, businesses, and in health. And he has been labeled an empath, an indigo, a star seed, an earth angel, and a light worker. And he earns the name Mr. Miraculous because of the breakthroughs he has assisted his clients in achieving. So I'm so glad that Tarek is here with us today. So, I invite you all to just open up your hearts, open up your minds, open up your energy field to receive the energies, the wisdom, the teachings that Tarek is bringing to the show today, and of course that my guides are always bringing in on every call. And I invite you to open up your hearts and welcome Tarek to the show. Tarek, welcome.
Thank you so much, Alara. It's an honor to be back here. And hello to everyone listening and being with us right now. What a beautiful opportunity for us to all get together and co-create some miracles.
Absolutely. So Tarek, you've been busy, really busy the past little while. So I was wondering if you could share with us a little bit before we get into the topic of ascension mastery and light workers and what we're all experiencing right now. But can you tell us a little bit more about what you're doing right now? Because, you're in Australia, which is amazing, and having the time of your life, creating all sorts of different I was going to say juicy things for yourself, but can you tell us what you're experiencing right now? Because we are all going through ascension, right? And so we're all sometimes in a state of change and transition, but some of us are really flourishing in it, as I think you are.
Yeah, so there's always two sides to every story, and a lot of people are aware of the one side, and I definitely wanted to share the whole story. So on the one side, I feel really blessed. I get to live on a land that to me feels very sacred. It feels so much like home. It's like an unadvertised Hawaii in my perspective. Like Australia is just pulling and attracting such beautiful high vibration people and super conscious people. And this particular place that I'm in, close to Byron Bay, it feels like Lumeria. It feels like not just Atlantis, where it was this whole continent. It feels like that smaller part of Atlantis where it was called Lumeria. And even the original people of Australia call Australia Mu. They call it Lumeria. Mm-hmm. And another amazing fact is all the original people, some people say Aboriginal, but they call themselves original people of Australia, all believe that they actually came from the Pleiades. And a lot of people in our spiritual communities believe that they're connected to the Pleiades. Mm-hmm. So there's something really special about being here, and I feel blessed that I get to live on a land where I feel called to be, and I feel blessed to have the infinity healing being learned by like students taking the infinity healing training like all over the world, and I feel like that the healing sessions are thriving. I'm like doing 4 sessions every morning, and teaching and mentoring people to take their practices to the next level and earn $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month, whatever they desire, and all that feels great. And it's funny because the more I'm doing that, the more my heart's just telling me like drop everything and move towards sharing conscious rap music, which I've been doing since grade 10, like since school, since high school, and I am doing that, but I feel like, again, if it's like a game of roulette, because life is a game, and the universe gave me 10 chips, I'm putting 9 chips on the healing and 1 on my rap music, and the universe is daring me to just grab all my chips and put all of them on my rap, and it's going to land on that number, and it's going to fulfill me on all levels. And so the beauty is that I feel so blessed. Here I am, living where I want to live, doing what I want to do, the music career, the healing, teaching, mentoring. And then the negative side, I feel, is there are still these patterns that a lot of us as empaths, healers, and light workers of feeling isolated, feeling disconnected. No matter how much I do, it's never enough. The addictions come up, like being a workaholic, still having strong boundaries in the sense that people are trying to connect with me, and I'm putting up my walls because I don't want to get hurt, because in the past I did, and still having patterns of getting into relationships and creating codependencies, and all that stuff's still there. And so I'm just sharing that aspect because I want to be real and raw, and just, hey, that's also happening, and people are not aware of that, the ups and the downs, but it's there, and it's part of what we go through, and we're going to address that during today's call.
Oh, beautiful. And, you're right. We do go through all of that, so, the only thing is sometimes, we have tools that we can use, but then even, it's a matter of then using those tools, right? So when we are going through our own stuff that's coming up in our face to show us, then, are you using the tool? You have many, right? Especially if you've been on these calls a lot. There are so many tools that you have learned from being on these types of calls. So are you using them, right? Or are you getting caught up in the story? And sometimes, let's face it, we get caught up in the story, right? So we are human, right? We are experiencing these things at the personality level, and it's okay, right? And that's the thing I think most people need to hear too, that, all of us light workers who are on this ascension path, is that it's okay. Even if you, get caught up in the story, even if whatever happens and you're not quite the spiritual, I'm putting that quotation marks, it's okay,
It's okay.
What's the next step for you, right? So take the next step and keep going. But don't judge yourself for, sometimes I drink Coke, or once in a while, not very often, I drink a glass of wine, doesn't matter, it's not like I'm doing it every single day, so, we are all experiencing life in some way. And as long as we're, having fun, enjoying ourselves, doing the inner work, and showing up in life and stepping into what we, is joyful for us and expansive for us, right? I think that helps the ascension process go a little bit more easily, right?
100%. Like we're human, right? Like we're part human. I always say we're part human,
I know.
part spirit. But like you enjoy the human process fully. Like allow yourself the pleasures that we have, and some of the things that we say are not good for us. And like it's okay, because the worst thing you can do is you're feeling called to do certain things, and then you punish yourself for wanting them, and then you punish yourself for like actually doing them, and that's just really not helpful. Like just a few weeks ago, my inner teenager is like, Tarek, take me out this weekend. I want to go party, like places where people are doing bad drugs and like drinking alcohol. Take me there. Not to do drugs and get drunk, but just to like I remember my inner teenager just saying none of those like spiritual, no talking, meditative dance places. Like take me to the regular club, and that's what ended up happening. And just had such a great time. Like again, with no drugs, no alcohol, just off the energy. And it's good to know what different parts of you are wanting in every moment. And if your inner children just want to eat something that, comfort food to them, it's okay. If you feel like staying in bed all day, it's okay. If you want to have a drink of alcohol, it's okay. If you're feeling negative, it's okay. If you're feeling angry, it's okay. If you're feeling aggressive, if you lashed out during the last full moon like I did and the worst parts of you came up, that's okay. Embrace it. And it's good to have people around you that accept that other side of you, because a lot of times people just want to accept the good side of you. But like, hey, I fully embrace and accept all aspects of yourself, especially your shadow self. Like, anytime the shadow self comes up, I always remind myself this is not who this person is. This is an aspect of them coming out now. And if I can accept that aspect of them, well, guess what? They're going to accept that aspect of me. But if I judge that aspect of them, then they're going to judge it when it comes out within myself. And so, yeah, just having a good support system is great. I feel like a beautiful tip I want to share with you guys is literally just having one person in your life that you can have, and this is all those people who feel completely disconnected from their families, disconnected from relationships, not having a friendship support system. Just having that one person. And if you don't have that person, write out the intention to have at least one person. And the amazing things that can happen just from having one connection in your life that you can reach out to, even if it's for a few minutes every day, and then just open up that heart, because it's so easy to close that heart when we're all alone and isolated. And when the heart's closed, we're so much easily targeted, for those of us that feel we experience kind of dark energies around us. As soon as our heart's closed and we feel alone, it's so easy for us to have those nightmares at night and feel dark energies manipulating us. But having that one connection where we can connect with that person and open up our hearts, or anything you can do that can just fully open up your heart. And when your heart's open back and forth, sending love, receiving love, it just creates this beautiful vortex around you that allows you to attract more of the things you desire, and creates this beautiful protection around you. Really shifts you out of like this old reality of, there's like a downward spiral pattern a lot of us go through, where it's like, one slip and then we just keep going down. And then I feel like having this support connection, or a practice or a ritual that you can do that just allows you to go upwards, like spiraling upwards. So just curious to know what you think about that, and what if people are feeling that as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tarek. It's true, right? It is important to have a support system. And so, I'm lucky that I have, my husband that you've met. But sometimes even him, it's like, okay, I need to talk to somebody else. So,
yeah.
When that happens, I reach out to my friends. I have friends here in Vienna. I have friends in Canada. So thank God for Skype. And just sharing, just sometimes it's sharing, and they might give you an insight that you hadn't even thought of, something totally out of the blue. But for me, mostly, it's just that as soon as I'm able to get it out, say it, express it, it lessens the charge. I'm not stewing it anymore, right? So absolutely, support system is really key. And so I totally agree. And then, of course, grounding, meditating, connecting with source, talking to your own guides and angels, getting support from them. But and then of course there's the healers like yourself and me who are there to support as well, right? For people who are going through stuff and just need a little bit extra support. Right now especially, I think that's really important, because we can't always do it on our own. And in the past, that was the way we were supposed to do it. That's what we were taught. You do it on your own. You don't talk about it. You don't do it. You just do it. But now the paradigm has shifted. It's not about doing it on your own. It's about getting the support, doing it in the community, and knowing that you're not alone, right?
Yeah, 100%. And it's more fun when you collaborate with others. It's more, the energy is like doubled, even like times more than two, because there's magic that happens when we collaborate and connect with others. You feel like it's you, that other person, and then there's this like infinite energy around both of you for like channeling solutions, channeling, if you want to add add energy to an intention that you guys want to manifest, it becomes even more powerful. So, intentions, like everything that you desire, it's almost like, so I grew up in Dubai, and I grew up Muslim. My dad's really atheist. My mom's Christian, and now I just kind of stopped following religion and followed my own heart. But that habit of, we were taught pray 5 times a day, and although I stopped doing that, I still now shifted it into something that feels more in alignment with me, which is setting intentions, like 5 times a day, at least 5 times a day. But it's like, okay, so like 2-3 hours of the day passed and I'm feeling certain stuff. I'm not feeling in the flow. Okay, I set the intention that I'm back in the flow. I'm feeling aligned. I'm feeling fulfilled. I'm feeling grounded. I'm listening. So like constantly listening. What does my body want right now? Oh, it wants me to stop doing everything I'm doing right now and go into nature and just be present with it. Okay, I'm going to do that. So are we taking the time every now and then to listen to what our guidance is wanting from us, what our body wants from us? Are we connecting with our inner children? Sometimes our inner children are like, hello, hi, yeah, busy light worker doing all these healing things. Like, can we do something silly and playful for a change? So like, are we listening to our inner children? Are we catering to what they're desiring? Sometimes they just want to snuggle and cuddle up with someone. Sometimes they just want to be silly and playful. Sometimes they just want to do something that, quote unquote, is completely non-spiritual. And are we listening to the earth? The earth is constantly transmitting messages that aren't verbal. Are we listening to them? Every now and then I go for walks, and so I just highly recommend just going for a walk in nature and just listening and observing and receiving whatever the universe is sending you. Like, I'll see an eagle fly above me. A lot of times I'll see snails because I'm such a fiery Aries with Leo rising, doing a million projects at once, and I'll see a snail, and that's the universe clearly telling me, like, whoa, now.
Yeah.
So observe what's happening around you, set the intention, like, not just in the morning. First of all, if you're not able to, like, definitely start off the morning with a ritual of, being grateful for all that you have, and setting an intention for what you would like that day to be, something along the lines of, I surrender this day to my heart, to my higher self. Please, Source, use me as an instrument of your will. Guide me to share as much love as I can. Guide me to connect with all the right people. Guide me to stay in my heart space, stay in the present moment, stay connected to the earth. There's so many things that happen after setting intentions, and then just revisiting how you're feeling and revisiting those intentions throughout the day. As much as you can, set an intention like throughout your day, and tune in and listen to what your body wants. Because a lot of times we're like, okay, we want to help save the world and change the world and heal all these people, and then you'll get a guidance to do something completely not related to that, which makes the biggest difference. But to the logical mind, it's like, how is you jumping up and down, singing and dancing, changing the world and helping people? But those are the things that the more we can do those things that we're guided to do that don't seem like they're connected to the whole, the more we're going to be charged up and the more we can do with our energy.
Absolutely. And that's about, being present in your life, right? On a regular basis. I'm not going to say minute by minute because we're not, well, we're not always present minute by minute, but the more that we can be present in the moment, that we are connected to our body, we are connected to Mother Earth, to grounding, we're connected to spirit. And in those moments, we have that creative potential to create anything. And part of that anything means having fun, being joyful, doing whatever it is that you desire in that moment, what your body desires, what your emotions. I mean, sometimes you might just want to just read by yourself for hours because that's joyful for you. I have across the street, there's this bar where they have people playing darts, and it's like, I keep looking at it and keep thinking, I want to go do that. I haven't played darts since I was 22, right? So it's like, I probably can't do it, but it's like, oh, that'd be fun, right?
Yeah.
So that's part of my childhood. I'm still going to call it childhood even though I was 22, but that was fun at that time. So it's like, oh, that's a good memory. It might be fun, to do one day. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know if it'll happen, but it just brings back sometimes memories and activities that you did when, you were having fun, you were at ease and you were just being joyful. And sometimes we forget to experience those things now because we're so serious, whether it's our work or whether it's spirituality, whether it's being a light worker and helping to facilitate healings and so on. But we're so serious, we've forgotten what it feels like to just be joyful and have fun and be present in the body. And so, the more that we can do that, the more that I think for myself anyway, so there's less of that angst, there's less of that mental chatter, there's less of that negative self-talk, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the lessons I've learned recently is like making joy your priority, making your bliss your priority, knowing what that is. Like what I did is I went to the beach and I had paint with me, and I had this piece of paper and I just painted all the things that bring me joy. And it's amazing what happened is like that day, like 4 of them happened, and the next day, like another 2 of them happened, and on the weekend, like another 3 of them happened just by writing them down. And the reason I painted it is because painting is one of the things that bring me joy. So I was like, I'm going to paint the things that bring me joy. And just by writing it all down without even planning it or forcing it, like a part of me is like, how is this going to happen? This hasn't happened in a while. There's no way it's going to happen without me making an effort to make it happen. But all those things started to happen. Like, it was just so beautiful. And it's good to be aware of what they are. It's good to write them down. It's good to have it in your awareness and your consciousness. Just the last 2 weeks, I did this. It feels like an experiment, but it's just like something different that I haven't done in a while. Connected with a beautiful soul friend of mine, and bliss was the priority because she was visiting from a city a little further away from where I am, and it would be like I'll wake up in the morning early, do 4 healing sessions, and then another hour just doing what I needed to do, and then stop, and then let's do something fun. Let's go and do something touristy and like go see the whales and go see the dolphins, or like go feed the koalas and the kangaroos, just like anything to get me out of. And it was so weird because normally I'm like, but there's a million more things I need to do, and I'd work my butt off till like midnight some days. And the beautiful lesson is, guess what? Like more abundance came through, more energy came through. I felt so much better in my being, and all those things that we tell ourselves we have to do, like we don't really have to. Life continues and things get resolved somehow on their own. And there's a lot of pressure we're putting on ourselves to do things that, if we surrender and trust, it just kind of resolves itself.
Oh, I love that. It's about being in that flow, and surrendering and trusting were really difficult for me for a long time, but I got it finally. But I wanted to talk quickly a little bit because, we have all these people with their hands raised and questions and so on. But let's talk a little bit about some of the key blocks that the light workers have, and why are light workers being targeted? Is it just because our heart centers are not open and they're closed off, or is there something else?
Yeah, great. So, I mean, I've brought the subject, and we've even done we've done a few talks where we talked about entities and stuff like that. So I never bring this up to create fear. I always bring it up to talk about that, elephant in the room. Like, everyone, if you're someone who feels like 100%, like there has been this kind of weird energy that's been affecting me for a very long time, and there's this weird energy that interferes with my relationships. And again, this is to those that really feel like not connected to their family, a lot of trauma growing up, hard time in relationships, can't keep a relationship, disconnected from society, alone, lost, confused. So from that extreme and anywhere, so whether it's that extreme or a little bit of that, I'm kind of sharing this for you guys. So just know that, and for those of us that feel like in past lives, like we've been like a lot of us feel in past lives we've been shunned, judged. Like even in this lifetime, we feel like we always feel outside of society. We feel like we're the odd ones out. We feel like judged by society, or we feel isolated, we feel disconnected, we feel if we were to be who we are fully, that people would harm us or try to hurt us. So then, a lot of people that I connect with are closet light workers. So 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It's like not feeling safe to be fully who you are. And if that's you, then there must have been something to cause a huge trauma for you to want to hide from that. So these are the people that are nurses and psychologists, psychiatrists, a lot of or like massage therapists. Those are socially accepted roles and careers, but then really they're healers. So some of us still do that, and some of us fully own up to the fact that we facilitate healing, and we don't need it to be something that people accept. And so I feel like a lot of the traumas that we've had in past lives, so this information came to me recently, is, let's say, during the witch hunt, during the witch hunts, a lot of the people who were hunting down quote-unquote witches, which were just people who were connected, they were intuitive, they had these gifts, they facilitated healing, they knew which herbs would cure diseases, and all these gifts that are so natural to us. They were attacked by people, and the people that were attacking us were possessed themselves. And it's almost like, light workers have been the target of forces that are not love-based for the longest time. So anytime you were here on planet Earth and you had a strong connection to the source and you had so much love to give and you had your gift, talents, and abilities, that immediately is a threat to something that is a dark force. And these dark forces have been here for forever, So obviously we might be targeted. So when we were targeted then, it wasn't just, so some people have past lives of Atlantis. I know in Atlantis they had spiritual technologies that would pierce your auric field so that forever, not just in that lifetime, they wanted to make sure they affected us for all lifetimes. For all lifetimes, we would continuously get drained. So how many of us feel like we're on a roll and then we get drained, and then we're on a roll and we get drained? So, look into the auric field, see if it's punctured, because they had technologies that would puncture the aura. They had technologies that would split you in half so that when you're incarnated the next time, you're not a whole, complete being. You're like feeling like you're half a person, and you'll never feel whole and complete because they've split you in half. Like, these are things that came up when I used to do past life regression. And then with the witch hunts, when they were traumatizing you, whether they hung you, A lot of people were crucified. A lot of people were burnt. A lot of people were hung. A lot of people were drowned. They wouldn't just do it in a way where they would just kill you in that lifetime. They would do it in a way that it would affect you for the rest of your lifetime. So I'm sharing this again, it's just new information that came to me, and it's just really helpful for us to know that even though that's one thing that happened in our past, is it still affecting us right now? Did the trauma come with some kind of a long-term curse? A lot of us in this lifetime feel like, why are all these bad things happening to me? I didn't do anything bad to deserve this. So that's part of the reason why. So some of those patterns that we notice are we're kind of going through feeling isolated, disconnected, low energy levels. We take one step forward, two steps back. A lot of us are doing a lot of work, like addicted to work. We're like workers, working in our sleep, saving the planet. Just the other day I was connecting with a soul friend, and she was like, hey, let's go do something fun. And, it's like, hey, it's almost like we feel bad for just not doing something relating to saving the planet. That's another trap, is everything has to be relating to, raising the vibration of the planet. A lot of us take on the collective stuff. A lot of us are addicted to healing. Guess what? You'll never get to the bottom of it, because even if you clear all your stuff, you still have all your ancestral lineage, you still have all your past lives. And even if you do all that, you're still connected to the collective. And the collective got a whole bunch of stuff. And guess what? There's some people that will never want to let go of their stuff. So you reach that point where you're trying to clear collective things that don't want to be cleared. So that's another trap. So there are all these traps at night. People are like, okay, fighting the dark forces, and everything is an energy. This whole thing, on one level, this is all just a virtual reality, a simulation that was created to absorb as much energy as they can from us. If you haven't seen The Matrix, that's a scene where they pull up the battery and they say, this is all you are, is a battery. So are you using that energy and recycling it within yourself and getting charged up in nature and getting charged up by your spiritual rituals? And are you using that energy in a way that's sustaining yourself, or are you being the martyr? Are you doing the things that bring you joy, or are you just fully committed to doing spiritual work? Like, these are very common traps. Like, in relationships, are you sabotaging yourself, or are you able to find that special someone in your life that is helping you, like, thrive? Is work fun, or are you doing it from a place of I have to do this for the whole? So these are several traps that people are finding themselves into, and try to look at your life and see, like, what are the traps that I've fell for, and how can I kind of break out of them?
And so how do we break free from these traumas? Some of us have been through a lot in our lifetimes, and, this lifetime and others, but even this one, some of us have experienced quite a bit of trauma. And how do we break free from it, like, completely and fully, if that's even possible?
Yeah, for those of you that know my story, like, I grew up with a lot of trauma. I felt like I was in hell. I felt like I was living a nightmare every day, and it was just so traumatic, and just told I was stupid, I'll never amount to anything, and I'm a failure. And so when you look at your traumas, there's at least two aspects. One aspect is that definitely needed to happen. For example, in my case, hearing I'll never amount to anything, hearing I'm a failure, hearing I'm stupid, made to feel completely worthless. I was able to take that, and now that helps me want to be this larger-than-life person, and wants me to shine my light so powerfully, and have such huge dreams. And so there's that one aspect, but then there's also the trauma of it, where it's like this constant feeling of inferiority that I'm so afraid of, and then I make sure that I do all these things not to feel that. So it's try to look at your traumas and say, what are all the beautiful gifts I took from that? And then also try to like look at them and challenge them. So when things come up and it's like, hey, why am I doing this? Am I doing it from a place of ego? And if it is the case, then just to say, hey, guess what? Like, I'm going to let that go. And this feeling of inferiority comes up and I go, hey, guess what? This is not true. And just like, you know, a lot of people have things come up, but a lot of people don't challenge those things. So if a fear comes up and says, hey, bad things are going to happen, a lot of people just say, hey, I feel like bad things are going to happen. But another powerful tip is just to be like, hey, thanks for sharing. I want to reassure you that great things are going to come from this. It's like we don't have a response to that. We're not having a dialogue with our inner children, with our fears. We're just it's like a one-way communication. And guess what? You can actually rebuttal that. You can respond to that and kind of put it, if it's a fire, you can like put it out. And so I feel like our traumas are gifts and they can be curses if we don't get rid of the parts of them that are negatively affecting us, or not get rid of them, but find a way to turn it so that the negatives become a positive force.
Beautiful. Thank you. And yes, you know, you are definitely a role model, you know, for everything that you have overcome and everything that you have achieved in your life. As am I, believe it or not. I mean, it was not easy. And, you know, when I look back on my life and now see where I am and how I'm living, it's like, wow, night and day, it's completely different. And, you know, part of that was during the deep inner work, you know, and choosing consciously for myself what I wanted to experience, you know, and as I was choosing and as the stuff was coming up, I was looking at it and I was saying, okay, thank you. This time it's not like that. This time it's different, you know, but thank you for showing me what I did experience in the past. I appreciate that. And I've learned from it. And this is different. This is, you know, I'm choosing something different this time. And so when we can do that, you know, our lives completely transform and change. And it's amazing. I mean, yeah, my life was not fun at the beginning for the first 40 years. Like, nope. But now, you know, now it's amazing, right? So we all have our own journeys, right?
100%. And I feel like there are times where we aren't getting the lesson. It keeps trying to be taught and we're not getting it. And we're doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's like, how many lifetimes has this been going on? And, you know, are we able to just face it once and for all and overcome it so we can learn that lesson that's been, you know, every time we feel like life's just punishing us and torturing us, it's like, hey, there's a really, really important lesson that's trying to be learned. And, you know, try to look at it outside of the perspective of a victim. And you'll see that there's something that, I remember when my ex-wife just walked out on me, we were arguing a lot and things got really intense, and she walked out on me, and first day I was like, I can see how people go crazy and do stupid things in breakups. And then I was pure victim. Why is this happening to me? And then the second day I was like, why is this happening for me? And just asking that question shifted everything. And it made me feel so grateful. I was like, wow, this is a lesson that's been wanting to be shared with me my whole life. And now I get it. Thank you so much. Like, you know, it just, wow, just asking it from a different perspective changes everything. And I just wanted to, this other thing came for me to share is, and I think I might have just forgotten it, but it was about being a light worker in this lifetime. And I'm going to let it go, and it might come back, but.
Okay. It'll come back if it needs to. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Thank you. And I love that question. Why is this happening for me? You know, that is so empowering, right? And so inspiring. And you're right, it totally shifts the energy. Yeah, I love that. So
Yeah.
from now on, I think I will use that one. You know, not that things go bad, thank goodness anymore, but if it does, you know, I'll think, why is this happening for me?
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Good. All right. So do you want to take a few quick questions and then we'll continue?
Yeah. Could I start with a group healing and
Sure.
then get into one-on-ones?
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Good.
Okay. So I have something really special to share with you guys. It's in honor of we've done this before. We've shared some of my spiritual rap verses before on your show, which is really fun. I love doing that. So I have a new one. It's a new album. It's called Rainbow Warriors. It's the best work I've ever done. It's completely dedicated to people like people like us in this community, in this tribe. It's dedicated to the rainbow, children of the Rainbow Warriors, spiritual warriors, rainbow children, all of that, indigos. And this song is dedicated to the goddess. So we were talking earlier about those lifetimes where we experienced the witch hunts. So this whole song is dedicated to the women who throughout history have been trying to step into their power, and it's such a threat to the establishment, and bad things happen to them. So,
Powerful.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
and then I'll go right into group healing, and we'll take some one-on-one.
All right, perfect.
Here we go. We come from and shall return to the goddess. Home is where I know where my heart lives. You know that you reap what you sow like a harvest. More power than you will ever know she can harness. Do we learn from mistakes? She was burnt at the stake. She was found by the lake and forced to suffocate. It's that fear of the feminine. When will we ever win? Sins of the brethren on gypsy Bedouins. It's so tragic. We fear her magic. Can we be empathic and feel her sadness? Is there a method to the madness, a reason for this planet, a place we can be living free from these madmen? The oracle, the high priestess, and the gypsy. You could try to change, but I can only be me, fighting for my rights even if it kills me. If you want to live and be free, then sing the song with me. And then the second verse is, history was nothing more than his story, obsessed with himself and with his glory. Then we found her story hidden in allegory. She will inspire and guide, but won't do it for me. A goddess in disguise, so we're looking to the skies. But when we close our eyes, we feel her deep inside. They called her the mother, Gaia, Sophia, infinite spirit, your eternal fire. They fear till they control, let the weaker run the show, divide and conquer us all, but not for so much more. Stay humble but stand tall, together we stand strong. There is power in numbers, so you know we can't fall. You can see it in her eyes, she has lived through the ages. Her truth they have denied and is missing in the pages. You can feel it in her fire as she goes through her stages. She's got that Midas touch, so everything feels sacred. She knows when you are lying. She knows when you speak truth. You could try to disguise, but she will always see through. She has a hard time with men she will never submit to. She is here to remind us of what we can and will do. She is timeless wisdom, a threat to the system. They try to get rid of them by giving them Ritalin, telling them they're different, inject them with the medicine. They died, but guess who came back as their children? She gave up on stories that don't ring true. Don't push it to the edge, 'cause I might scare you. She's got hidden powers that she might dare use, but her heart is so true and just wants to help you. Her teachings so ancient and have been held sacred, only shared with those who've been awakened. She's been patiently waiting ever since we've been cavemen for us to break free from this enslavement. So let that energy just sink in. Yeah.
That's powerful.
Thank you. So just let that energy sink in, and let's get into the infinity healing. So I invite you to close your eyes, take a conscious deep belly breath, and release. Beautiful. So starting now, we're activating the infinity healing. If you'd like to receive that, just say yes. And if there's anything stopping you from receiving or releasing the maximum, if you'd like to clear that, just say yes. And if there's any part of you that is resisting, sabotaging, interfering with, getting in the way of, or even afraid of all the great things that can come from this experience, if you'd like to set that aside, just say yes. Your higher self can connect you with the perfect energies and the perfect beings. If you give it permission to do that, just say yes. And to give them permission to do everything they know to do that is for your highest good. And your higher self knows exactly what to work on, where it stemmed from, how to clear it. Do you give it permission to choose an item to work on and to automatically do an infinity healing for that? Beautiful. And for ascension, for light workers, for healers, for empaths, would you like an infinity healing to clear what's stopping you from being able to fully master your ascension process? So part of us is wanting to ascend, but another part of us wants to fully descend, in the sense that we want to stay grounded to the earth. A lot of us are just lost in the higher realms. So would you like the perfect balance of left, right brain, masculine, feminine, giving, receiving, spirit and body, ascension and grounding to the earth? If you'd like that, just say yes. And for those traps that we mentioned in the past, would you like an infinity healing for the universe to completely clear you of one of those traps, those spiritual traps, to fully own your power, to bring back your power from all space-time and dimensions, to own it, to ground it in your body, to embrace it, to use it, to move you forward? The thing that I mentioned before is a lot of us are constantly doing healing work, and it's like, would you like to break free from that trap of constantly thinking we need to be healed? If you'd like to clear that, just say yes. And the thing that I forgot to mention is a lot of us are completely jumping from one course to another, one healing to another, in a way that is not empowering. There's a way to do it where it's empowering, but there's another way to do it where we're distracting ourselves from actually getting the stuff out there. Doing the marketing, doing the promoting, doing the workshops, doing the seminars. So it's like we're doing 99% of the things that won't lead to the results, and we're avoiding that 1% that will lead to results. So would you like an infinity healing to focus on those 1-2% things that will lead to 90% of the success? Beautiful. To transmute anything that found its way into our field that is not of the divine blueprint, to bring everything back into the divine blueprint, to send the healing to our past lives, our past life traumas, the witch hunts, the negative traumas that happened in all those past lifetimes that are negatively affecting us right now, that are affecting our auric field, that are affecting us in our sleep, any negative spiritual technologies that found their way into our homes, into our beings, just to transmute them, to fully activate that light body within us that will forever protect us and make us untouchable beings, to have that heart space opened up and have that back and forth love shared, to bring forth our soul friends, soul mates, soul family, soul tribe, to break out of this whole going up and down and fighting during our sleep, and all these traps that we've been through, just to learn all the lessons, clear the karma, and to fully be who we're here to be, do what we're here to do, let go of what might feel comfortable. We might have been healers for 100 million lifetimes, and now the universe wants us to do something different, to fully let go of what's comfortable if it's needed to, and to fully step into and embrace this new thing that's calling us, that might be different, that we might not know all the details, but we feel guided towards it. So to listen to that intuitive guidance, have the universe give us infinite signs and synchronicities and coincidences and intuitive nudges that guide us on our path, to listen to those guidances, to follow through by taking fast, inspired action. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're including into this healing more than what we know to ask for, that this or something greater will happen. Use this as an instrument, if you will. Guide us to share our gifts, talents, and abilities to the fullest in the funnest way possible, the most abundant way possible. And we're saying, yes, we're open to receiving all the things that our heart desires so we may feel fulfilled on all levels. And to conclude, I want to share this beautiful thing that I learned yesterday from Soul Sister. I want you guys to think of something that you feel really good about doing, something really that makes you feel like, wow, I'm so proud of this thing that I did. Just one good thing that you've done that you feel like, wow, good job. So I want you to feel that. And I want you to now multiply that by like 100. So now it's filling your whole room. That feeling of, good job. And then let that energy now fill your whole home. Yeah. And now let it fill the whole city you're in. And now let it fill the whole country you're in. And now let it fill the whole planet that we're in. Now let it fill the universe. And sometimes we do something good, and if you're like me, it's like, good job, moving on, what else can I do? Like, it doesn't last. And now it's like, not only is it lasting, but you're amplifying and magnifying, multiplying that feeling of you're enough. Like, that's great. Like, just stop and pause and, wow, let's celebrate. What a good thing, what good you are, and good, like, the good things you are being and the good things you are doing. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. And it's just like pausing everything and like celebrating that and appreciating that. And before the mind wants to jump into doing more, it's like, wow, pause right there. This one thing that you are and this one thing that you've done. Wow. Just fills the whole planet. Beautiful. All right. So you're welcome to bring yourself back into the present moment. And share what came up for you.
It's beautiful. Thank you. You know what?
You're welcome.
It's so interesting, Tarek. And this is still coming up for me. I don't celebrate the good stuff, like I do it and then I move on to the next thing, So, for example, when I was in Toronto, in spring, I did a workshop, for a group of people. And I was so proud of myself. Like, I did it. Yay. The energy was flowing. It was all really, really good. And I was comfortable. And then it's like, okay, now what? So I didn't take the time to really acknowledge that and celebrate it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how many of us are not acknowledging the gift that we are?
Exactly. So how beautiful is it to have that as part of our spiritual practice, where it is like, hey, today I'm going to start my day by just imagine every morning you start your morning just being like, wow, like good job, like just celebrating all the good that you are and all the good that you've done, and then immediately going into like imagine starting every day like rewarding yourself for everything you are and everything you've done.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a wonderful practice. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. So how was that experience for all of you who are listening? So type it into the Q&A. Let us know how that was for you. All right, wonderful. So you want to do you want to take some live caller questions, or do you want to talk about your package first? Which one do you want to do first?
Yeah, we'll do some one-on-ones, and maybe like two, if they're short, 2 or 3, and then we'll go into the program.
Perfect. All right, so we're going to go Phone number ending in 3475. 3475.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Shifa.
Hello.
Hi, Elvira. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, Caroline.
This is Caroline.
Wonderful. You have a question for
Hi,
Tarek?
Caroline.
Yes. Hi, Tarek.
Hi.
I don't know if it's so much a question. Even through the process, I've been, as I keep wanting to call you Shafali, as Alara knows, I've been on these calls for a few years, and I've bought a few packages, and I've done the work on myself, and what I'm noticing throughout the years, I'm 54 now, and have been awakened to my gifts for 16 years or so. I work a full-time job. My job is not fun, even though I make it fun, and I'm really good at it. But it's not what I would choose to do as a sole purpose kind of thing. But what I've noticed throughout the years is that things that just come to me, trips and opportunities and things, it's never things that I would have thought of that I wanted to manifest. Because for 17 plus years, I had an amazing horse who's now passed away a few months now, and I've wanted a farm to live with him, and it was like such a heart's desire, and I knew what I was going to do on that farm, and I was going to, heal horses and all that, and use my gifts to do that, and so I would try to manifest money to retire, and that never happened, but I've had other opportunities that are magnificent that I never tried to manifest. So it's like whatever I try to manifest, I can't manifest. I can't manifest extra money than my job. I can't manifest, But what I'm not trying to manifest just happens and is like almost handed to me. So where do we see the difference between, what some say, even on these shows, that you can have anything that you want, but that's not how I see it. It's not what I want that's happening in my life. It seems to be what is meant to be, more meant to be than what I want. So I'll say it like that.
And what is it that you do want?
What do I want to manifest? If we're talking today, for example, for a few years I've been wanting to manifest a lump sum of money to retire. Because that lump sum of money will pay for my mortgage. It'll pay it'll replace my now income, and then from there, I want to do other things. Go travel, pay for my daughter's education. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's a heart desire, then you definitely are able to manifest it. But like with a lot of things, are there programs interfering? Are there fears interfering? Is there resistance? Are you fully committed and dedicated to making it happen? Sometimes it comes easy. Sometimes we put in like years and years to make it happen. So the end result is retirement, which means more freedom, more empowerment to do what you want to do, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's totally doable. There's a great point is like, hey, I want to do this, but is it what I'm supposed to be doing? And there's no supposed to. A lot of us fall for that trap of what does the universe want me to do? And the universe wants you to decide what you want to do. It's like we're playing ping pong with our power. It's like we're saying, hey, universe, here's my power. Tell me what to do. And the universe is like, you take your power, you do what you want to do. And it's like none of us are deciding what. And then sometimes we go, okay, I guess it wants me to do this. And it's like, no, I'm not trying to tell you what you want to do. So would you like an infinity healing to fully get clear, infinite clarity about what you're here to be, what you're here to do, what truly lights you up, what your heart is desiring?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if there's anything interfering with that, getting in the way of sabotaging, resisting, would you like to show those aspects of yourself that it's safe to do this, show them all the great things that will happen when you do this, and if they try to interfere, have the higher self set them aside?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
would you
I
like
got to
to?
tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I'm saying absolutely, and I'm saying yes. But like I said, I've been on these calls, and I've said yes to that. So I don't believe that it'll happen on my turn.
Okay. Yeah. So what would you like to tell that part of you that's saying, hey, this is not really working? What does your heart want to share with that part of you that's saying, there's no way this is going to work? What would your heart say as a response? Is it actually possible? What would your heart say?
So the question is it possible to manifest, let's throw a number out there, $333,000 for me to retire? Or just to use, just for fun, for retirement, for trips, for everything that I've wanted for basically almost 20 years. So is it possible? Sure. Do I believe that it's possible? Based on past experiences, no, but based on magical things happening, like getting a parking space, manifesting all those small things, based on that, yes, I believe it's possible.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely, yeah.
What are you willing to do to make that $330,000? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to put in terms of what are you putting in to receive that?
I don't understand the question. I work every day from my work hours keep me busy from 6 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. So that's and I get a paycheck for that. So.
Yeah, but that's not going to lead to your $330,000. So what are you willing to do outside of that that's going to lead to you receiving $330,000? What value are you able to put out there? Are you willing to just put in hours to master your craft, to get your, is it healing that, like, what are the things that you're offering in exchange for that?
I have many healing gifts. I do sessions. I'm currently doing other things that is with my voice, so I'm doing something there.
So what are you willing to do with those gifts in terms of getting them out there and fully dedicated to that and committed to that and constantly being resilient and putting it out, giving, pushing, and doing all of that? What are you willing to do to make that happen?
I've been doing that for all those years.
So, just tell me in the last week, what would you do at the end of your work day, for example, in the last 2 weeks?
I've sat and I've worked on songwriting, and I've sat and I've done writing, and I've done meditating, and I've done walking to see what comes through. It's magical what comes through when I'm songwriting, things like that. I go walk dogs. I be in joy. I look at my site. I invite clients. I expand and I invite clients, and so I do all of that work.
Yeah. So, in the last, I don't know, let's say 6 months, how many songs have you put out there?
How many what?
Songs did you put out there? Not just written, but actually put out there.
How many songs have I put out there?
Yeah.
Because you said you were writing songs, right?
I've got 6 or 7.
In the last 6 months, you put 7 songs out there?
So when you say you put 7 songs out there, what do you mean? I've written them, and I'm working with people who
anyone in
songs.
Is anyone in the world actually listening to them? Are they put out in ways where you can reach thousands of people?
Not yet. I'm not recording them until September.
Okay. So would you like an infinity healing to do, again, it's back to that, doing the things that will actually allow us to reach the most amount of people, which will then allow us to give that much more value, which will allow us to receive that much more in return. Would you like an infinity healing for that?
Absolutely.
To do the things we might be resisting, to do the few things that will lead to the most impact, will lead to the most giving of value, giving of our talents, giving of our abilities, to master the art of give, share, promote, market, advertise. It's our responsibility to let the whole world know about our songs, about our healing, constantly networking, constantly speaking, like using social media, just getting it all out there. Would you like that?
Yes, and I can see where I've been resisting, because when I get home and I do stuff, I only have about an hour a night. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, but it would be so much easier if I was retired. If I could get the money to retire, then I'd have hours and hours and hours to do that. So yes, but that's 1 hour a night, literally an hour a night that I have maybe.
Yeah. And so would you like an infinity healing to create your reality in a way that will support you, that will allow you to have more than enough time, more than enough energy to create, to then focus on the things that matter most to you?
Absolutely, yes.
And to let go of the part of you that is maybe deathly afraid to do that, to let go of the part of you that has created such a tight, 24 hours in your day that doesn't even allow that. Would you like to surrender that, trust, and allow that something new wants to unfold, and to have this new reality be one that energizes you and empowers you and gives you that freedom that you're looking for?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And to take infinite, fast, inspired action to making that happen. Would you like that?
Yes.
Okay. So being open to letting what needs to be let go of, and being open to taking action towards what you want, and definitely always starting with that intention. You want that? Ask for it. Ask for it in a way that's clear and just have your heart literally just transmit to the universe all its desires. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. And just action. A lot of us are stuck, I was stuck there for 5 years, wanting to get out there, wanting to do it. And I didn't write big goals. I didn't write my big dreams. I didn't write my intentions. And I was just stuck. I had 2 part-time jobs, and I was doing everything I can. I was doing everything except what I really needed to do. And what I really needed to do was it was like a silent voice in the back of my head. It was like a silent feeling in my gut. And it was like that one action that I was avoiding. And so it's really good to just sit with ourselves, be aware, what are those few things I can do that can lead me towards that? And then being resilient and never ending kind of actions that will then eventually lead us to achieving what we desire.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Caroline. Great question.
Yeah.
For your time, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you. And that was really something I think that we all needed to hear. All the questions that you were asking, Caroline, and even what was coming up for her, her resistances that were coming up, those, are all the things that we are also experiencing. So thank you again, Caroline, and thank you for that infinity healing, Tarek.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was wow. that was key. That was important. So I have a quick comment on the Q&A from Monica. Monica's right here in Vienna. Wow, Monica, I had no idea. And she said about your song. She said, "So cool, Tarek, speaking directly from my heart. Feel yourself embraced. Love your song every minute." I just wanted to share that with you too.
Thank you so much.
Let you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now we're going to go to the phone lines again. Phone number ending in 3533. 3533. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
Hi. I'm Daryl from Atlanta.
Hi, Daryl. You had a question for Tarek?
Hi, Daryl.
Hey, well, I thought I might get inspired to ask a question, but I haven't. So please pass on me. That was a great rap too, bro. Thank you.
Thanks, Daryl. Appreciate it.
All right, love you.
Daryl.
Thanks, man.
Beautiful. So like, wow, thank you for that, Daryl, because, sometimes people just get on the phone and they want to ask anything just because, they're there. So
yeah.
nothing came up, so it's like, pass it on. All right. We're going to go to...
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being so generous. We're going to go to phone number ending in 2705. 2705. Hello.
Hi, this is Barbara.
Hi, who's this?
Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, dear. Well, this call is really amazing. The part he was saying about celebrating what I have done in my life and what I'm doing with my life, because I'm realizing what I'm doing mainly is opening my heart up to myself and giving and loving myself like I have given to others for all my life. And I feel like there's a block that's keeping me from feeling more free. And I was just wanting to see if you could see anything that could help me now.
Okay. Okay, can you give me an example? First of all, what's your name again?
Barbara.
Barbara. Barbara, can you give me an example of when that happens in your day-to-day life?
Oh, well, right now I'm recovering from a car wreck I had 2.5 years ago. And so I've been on disability, and I've been resting a lot and not having a lot of motivation, but getting out and doing it, but just making myself. So I've really been doing a lot of meditation, doing Alara's 21-day prosperity thing, which when she does that, it's like a hypnosis. She takes me into another world and clearing a lot of stuff. So I feel a lot of peace. But with my physical body, there's, my left hand I was a massage therapist for 25 years, and my left hand is not able to use it. And it just stays tight all the time, so I felt like there's a lesson that I'm supposed to be learning that I'm not learning. So I'd like to know what that is, if you can.
Sure. And so what is the thing, so that's the thing you'd like to achieve, is learning the lesson? That's the thing you want to have happen?
Yes, of why my body's staying stuck in the...
And so it's mainly your left arm that's kind of not fully healing?
My left hand is totally stove up.
Okay. And so when you look back, I'm feeling it now, and when you look back on your life, do you find yourself able to receive things easily, able to receive support, help?
That's what I've been... Yes, that's what I've been looking at, what I'm able to receive now with help.
Okay. But in the past, like before, like just in the big picture, looking back on your life, was receptivity a big challenge for you?
Oh, definitely, yes.
And what is the belief? Because now you can give but not receive as much.
Probably from the programming of not being worthy.
What's that?
Not being worthy from religious programming and family and friends. Yes.
Got it. Okay. So let's clear that. So would you like an infinity healing to clear all the beliefs, the mindsets, the blueprints, templates, traits, attributes, habits, perceptions, perspectives, judgments towards receiving your heart's desires with ease and grace and massive abundance, feeling worthy, deserving, and good enough? Would you like to clear those?
Yes.
And would you like to replace them with beliefs and mindsets that are positive, that are empowering, that are true about receptivity, to just have your default setting be on open to receiving all your heart's desires with ease and grace in massive abundance, and feeling worthy, deserving, and good enough. Would you like that?
Yes.
Would you like to clear the fears and the emotions and everything from the root cause interfering with that being able to happen right now?
Yes.
And to clear this karma once and for all, to learn all the lessons, to share this healing with all that are connected to it, all past lives, all ancestral, all childhood experiences, mom and dad, etc. Would you like that?
Yes.
Okay. And just repeat out loud, say, I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am deserving.
I am deserving.
I am good enough.
I am good enough.
I am receiving.
I am receiving.
Beautiful. And just breathe that in. And now when you imagine yourself receiving, what feels different now compared to before?
Well, I feel emotional. Just
Emotional?
gratitude. Gratitude.
Gratitude. And the feeling of receiving, does it feel easier now? Does it feel lighter?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, it's just more heart stuff, and we just kind of opened up the flow, so it's just going to get stronger and stronger every day.
All right. Thank you so much.
Let us know. You're very welcome. Let us know how things unfold for you.
Okay, I will.
Thank you, Barbara.
All right.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Blessings. All right. Okay, beautiful. We'll take one more quick call, and then we're going to talk about other stuff. The phone number ending in 5712, 5712, I think. Hold on. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Marlene.
I think it's me.
Yeah, it's you.
Joke. My question is what you were talking about earlier, because I always wondered if I was like, if you can tell, I don't know, if I was ever like choked to death, drowned, something, because my neck, is a backward curve. I have no reason why, and it just, nothing they can do can fix it. And it's causing, a lot of weakness in my hands, on and off. And I'm just like, wow. And then when it's going to rain, I suddenly am filled up with sinus and I can hardly see. I feel like I'm drowning.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. So, what's your name again?
Marlene.
Marlene. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer. And like, if that's happening from rain, like, so the water's just triggering those memories. And do you have you seen that in movies before, like people tied or hung or burnt or drowned? Have you seen stuff like that in movies, and has it brought up intense emotions for you?
I don't watch that stuff anymore. But there was like...
But when you did in the past?
Yeah, yes. And then even when, I was married, wow, he almost choked me to death, okay?
Yeah.
And my sister had to save my life. And then my one sister, when we were in a swimming pool, she was really short, and she grabbed around my neck, and I went under and slipped in the high water. And I got all my adrenaline up, and I threw her up onto the, deck of the pool. And the lifeguard goes, I thought you were fooling around. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling it right now. And so the clues are in our life, and it's like, you're right, they're right there. So if you want to know what happened to you in a past life, look back on your childhood and look at the traumatic experiences you had and, ask yourself, is this the first time I experienced that? So it's so obvious based on what you've shared, and I'm feeling it very strongly, more so the back of your neck for some reason, and the shoulders as well.
Now 'cause it
yeah. Yeah, and it's really old. So, yeah, would you like an infinity healing for a source to connect to all of your lifetimes, ancestral, your cellular memory, your DNA, your Akashic records, your all of that, all lifetimes, all bodies, all space-time and dimensions, and to heal these traumas from their root? Would you like that?
Yes. Oh, boy.
To transmute the trauma, to bring the body back into the divine blueprint, feeling strong, healthy, vibrant.
Yes.
To let go of that trauma, to transmute it, and to replace it with love. Would you like that?
Yes.
Would you like to show the mind and the ego that it's safe to let this go, and all the great things that will come from you being without that?
Yes.
Would you like to clear all the karma, learn all the lessons so that it no longer needs to keep playing out in your reality?
Yes.
Okay. And would you like to take all the power that you might have given away in all those experiences, own those powers, heal those traumas, heal and transmute any negative influences and effects from those experiences? Would you like that?
Yes.
And clear your mind. What's the first thing that pops into your head when you ask a question? What is the lesson to be learned from these experiences?
Oh, wow. All I get is to be more careful on the choices.
Okay. Okay. And when you tune in now to your the thought of expressing yourself and being seen for who you really are and expressing your authentic self more, what feels different now compared to before?
I'm feeling a little lighter than I was.
Uh-huh.
Because before it was I've been drained, like a vampire, sucking your energy out constantly, no matter what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. So would you like an infinity healing to just transmute any and all less than love energies, entities, hooks, attachments, spells, black magic that is in your field?
Yes.
And to bring that back into the divine blueprint, shielded and protected, fully activated and integrated and embodying your infinite divine self?
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of times when we have these traumas, it's almost like an entity attaches to the trauma and then will forever feed off of that trauma. And so does that resonate as true for you?
Yeah. There's even people that do that.
What do you mean?
Oh, people that I've actually helped have turned their back on me like they're ferocious after they got we'll say their miracle or whatever, and suddenly they become the entity. So I'm like, okay, great call today. And the package, I was like, there's some tracks in there I must own. But I've had people want to, fist fight me. They owe me money or something. They'll turn around and want to fist fight with me out of the blue. And I'm just like, okay, what's up with this? But then I feel like lately, I will lay down and I only get 3 hours of sleep. And then I wake up and I'm just so drained. I'm like, all right, that's enough of this.
Yeah, enough is enough. It ends now.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marlene.
You're welcome.
So appreciated. See, the universe knows.
Yeah.
Good. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So that was, one of the things that, when Marlene was talking about, or when you were talking earlier about, being burned at the stake, being drowned, and all that stuff, a memory came back to me from this lifetime when I was whitewater rafting, and I fell out of the raft. I had, life jacket on and everything, but I fell out of the raft, and what I remembered was I was like, it felt like I was so deep, in the water, and looking up, all I could see was like a pinpoint of light. And when I think about it now, I'm like, oh, that's not even possible. Because, where I was, it wasn't that deep anyways, and I was wearing a life jacket and a helmet and all that stuff, but it looked like, all I could see was a pinpoint of light. So it's like, oh, goodness. Now I realize that this was part of a past life where I was drowned. It's like, oh, that's what I was seeing, really, So just got that now. So,
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Just got that now.
You're welcome.
Interesting. Okay, so let's take a few moments to talk about the packages that you have for us today, for the listeners. So for those of you who are on the live page, you can just click on special offer. Those of you on the phone, you can go to awakentohappinessnow.com/Tarek13. So we have package A is the Ascension program for light workers and empaths. There's 10 audios. Did you want to talk about them briefly, Tarek?
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, I just wanted to share, I never choose what to work on. I literally listen. I've got my ear to the pulse of our collective, our community, and these things just come through as intuitive guidances. So the motivation for creating this program was that exact thing that, we take one step forward and then two steps back. We feel a little good. Our vibration goes up, and then we go all the way back down. There, these ongoing, like the last caller mentioned, how like she does her healing and then she gets attacked by entities. So, the visual that I got is, let's say ascension is about raising our vibrations higher and higher and higher, because and the goal is, let's say 144,000 of us commit to raising our vibrations higher and higher and higher and higher, and then that's it. We reach critical mass. We impact the whole collective, and it's heaven on earth, and like there's just too much of a high vibration that's being anchored that there's no turning back to the old ways. And that's what a lot of us believe in. And so if we want to do that, the visual I got is we're in a hot air balloon. So imagine yourself in a hot air balloon. And you're putting all this energy with the gas, with the fire that's trying to pull the hot air balloon up. But beneath your hot air balloon are these ropes that are tied to huge rocks. And so a lot of us just constantly looking up, putting all this energy into the balloon, trying to go higher, and we're not aware of why we can't go higher. And some of us never do this, but when we do, we realize why we're not going higher. So some of us need to go down, look, back into those traumas, go back into the childhood experiences, go back into those past lives. So we look down, we notice, oh my God, there's like 4 ropes and there's 4 huge rocks. And now I'm going to spend some time dealing with those 4 rocks before moving higher. So one is just to acknowledge that there are these rocks, and we have to start with those rocks. We cut those ropes, and then we're going to be able to move higher. So what we were doing for the longest time is spending all this energy trying to go up while those rocks are still tied, and no wonder we're getting drained. No wonder we're not going anywhere. And I got that visual as that's something a lot of us are doing, expecting to fly, to go higher, and it wasn't working. So at the end of the day, bigger picture, what are we here to do? All of us are going through an ascension experience. Some of us have already experienced the ascension before. Several psychics told me that I'm originally from the Pleiades. I've mastered the ascension process, and I've come here to help others reach that level of ascension. And so to me, this is the big picture. This is what it's really all about. what are the things that we can do that once and for all will help us achieve the results we're looking to achieve. People have experienced all sorts of stuff. Some people are like, this is the best program I've ever created. I've created like 9 programs so far. One lady mentioned there's just like one audio, the one for protection for empaths. One audio is worth the whole program. Yeah, so a lot of great feedback, and I love that people have shared they've had breakthroughs with their finances, breakthroughs with their relationships, breakthroughs with their health, alignment with their life purpose. Like, it doesn't just help in one area; it helps in many areas. So when I meditated and channeled what are the areas that I need to help, which areas to help with, before I say that, in general, there's a reality that's based on fear, like I want this, but I'm afraid to do it, or I can't have it, and limitation and scarcity and lack. And there's another reality where it's like bliss, abundance, faster manifestation, instant manifestation, feeling supported by the universe, all your needs are met, you're like in the flow, in your bliss, in the vortex, and that's the reality we want to step into. So the full program is called the Ascension Program for Empaths and Lightworkers, from fear to your bliss vortex. And the areas we focus on, so each module spends a whole hour doing like earlier I spent 5 minutes doing infinity healings, and a lot of you felt that was really powerful. So imagine a full hour of channeled healing. The first one is protection for empaths. If we're out there in a spiritual battlefield and there's all sorts of energies and entities and back and forth things happening, if we're not protected, we're not able to move forward. So the first step is protection for empaths. The second step is to experience infinite bliss, making bliss your priority, knowing what makes you feel good, taking time every day to make sure you're doing those things that make you feel good. The next step is clearing addictions. A lot of us are trying to move forward in this ascension process, and then things get triggered, and we go to emotional eating, we go into negative habits, sexual addictions, food addictions, even like addicted. Some of us are addicted to drama, addicted to being a victim, addicted to blame. All sorts of stuff come up. We need to clear those once and for all, which also includes releasing parasitic entities. The next step is to experience freedom. At the end of the day, what is the point of all of this if we're not feeling that liberation, that sovereignty, that freedom? So that whole step focuses on breaking all the things that are holding us back from being empowered and feeling free. The next step is to break out of fear. A lot of us allow fear to control us. Imagine a reality where you feel the fear, but you still take action. You observe the fear, but you kind of respond to it and reassure it that you're safe. Fear is four-letter word that kind of controls the whole world. And so imagine being overcoming that and not letting it control you. The next two are really, really powerful, and some people again mentioned these two on their own were worth the whole program. Healing your a lot of, like almost every session I do, at the root of it, there's an experience my client had with their mom, or there's an experience that my client had with their dad that created the trauma that's affecting all areas of their life till this day. And when that's healed, like 90% of the challenges get released. So I definitely felt inspired to include healing your relationship with the divine feminine, which includes healing your relationship with your mother, and then healing your relationship with the divine masculine, which includes healing your relationship with your father. But it also includes, let's say you were a female, empowered, spiritual woman in a past life, and then this male energy came and like suppressed you and tried to control you and killed you for your power. So imagine how that's going to have an impact on how you relate to men. So that module is also going to help heal your relationship with the masculine and to forgive it. The next step is to let go of victimness consciousness. You're not able to step into reality where you're fully empowered if you're still holding on to the blame game, if you're still giving your power away, being a victim. So owning your power, stepping into creator consciousness and out of victim consciousness. The next one is clearing negative energies and entities, black magic, giving your power away, oaths, agreements, taking on karmas from other people, all sorts of weird stuff. But at the end of that, your whole being is fully brought back into the divine blueprint, and all that negative energy, entity, black magic stuff gets transmuted. And then at the end, we've got the manifestation process. So imagine being able to manifest anything you desire instantly, like just to master the art of manifestation. And I've been playing with this for the last 10 years, and it's fascinating stuff, and a lot of us are still not aware of how to do it. So this module will help you master your manifesting and help you manifest anything you desire faster, easier, and having a process that you can use ongoing to help you in your manifestation. So that's manifesting all your dreams is the
Beautiful.
final module.
So that's package A for $97,
yeah.
And then there's just package B. I'm assuming you know what's in package B too.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not on the screen that you have, but can you read what we have as options?
Yeah, so for package A, we have everything, package B, we have everything in package A, and then package B also includes 2 audios, Clear Your Limiting Beliefs from Childhood and Infinite Abundance Healing Call, as well as 30 days of distance healing.
Yes, thank you. So that one bonus audio, Clearing Everything from Conception to age 7, those are all the things that are blocking us till this day. It started from those childhood experiences. So that audio is the one, I remember a lady saying that was worth the whole program. So one of the most powerful audios I've ever created. It's included in the package B. And then on top of that, imagine just getting daily energetic transmissions from my higher self to your higher self automatically for the next 30 days for your ascension process. They say it takes 21 days to break a habit. And so on top of the fact that you're listening to one of these audios one time every 7 days, on top of that, you're getting this ongoing energetic download, energetic transmission, activation, attunement for the next 30 days. So that automatically starts when you invest in the program. And to help you stay in your bliss vortex, to help you clear those rocks that are holding you back, and to continuously, slowly but surely, steadily move forward and upward on your journey, on your path.
Beautiful. Thank you. So these 2 packages, package A for $97 and package B for $197, is available at awakentohappinessnow.com/Tarek13. And so there's more information there on the special offer page. You can read up a little bit more about the infinity healing technique that Tarek created and downloaded and is serving the world with, and also training people to do infinity healing. All right, let me just see. So that's available at awakentohappinessnow.com/Tarek13. Take a look at it, see which package resonates with you. And so let's see if there's any. All right, so yeah, so Tarek, was there anything else that we wanted to share with the audience today?
I feel this is so full of tips and wisdom and healings, and it's just so potent, and there's so much in it that I just want to invite everyone to do the opposite, like just to actually be present. I feel like Spirit and Source or God, Universe wants to share something, and I just want us to just be present for like 30 seconds and be open to receiving whatever that might be.
Mm-hmm.
So I invite you guys to just like switch off the mind, to be in that open, receptive state, and just to listen to whatever wants to be shared, starting now. Just feeling your heart. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's any wisdom that wants to be shared, just being open to hearing what that wisdom is, that one step that I can do today to get me, to move me forward. Beautiful. And to give me all the strength and the courage and the power to do that. And so it is.
And so it is. So, you know, Tarek, what I got from my wisdom was trust. Trust yourself and trust spirit. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay. Can do. I can do that.
Big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. But yeah. Got it. Got the message loud and clear. So thank you, Tarek. Thank you, Tarek.
You're welcome.
So yeah, this is wonderful, and I'm you know, this has been so interesting. You know, not just what we talked about, but the infinity healings that you brought in today, the group healing, plus your beautiful song was so powerful. Just bringing in, you know, connecting back in with the goddess and who we all are was so powerful that I also feel so complete. You know, and those the infinity healings that you did for us, you know, for the individuals who called in, I think, you know, they're not just for the individuals who called in, but they're for all of us, and they were so relevant. So, you know, I want to thank everybody who called in, because we can all use those, right? And so it wasn't just for them; it was for everybody listening on the call now, listening later.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I just want to, because those, you know, the questions that you asked and then the infinity healings that you did, I think, wow, they just blew me away. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
Beautiful. And thank you, everybody, for being on the call today. I know we were at a different time, just by an hour. So, but thank you so much for showing up, for being here, for being present, for co-creating this beautiful space with us. And again, thank you again, Tarek, so much. It's so wonderful to have you back with us and sharing your wisdom, your teachings, your music, and your energy. So beautiful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me on, and thanks to all the listeners for being present with us and adding your intentions and your energy to this call, to helping it become what it just helping making it what it was. And let's spread this into our lives, and let's implement the things we became aware of from this call, and move forward and be who we're here to be and do what we're here to do.
Beautiful. Thank you. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day, evening, nighttime. And until next time, continue to live your life filled with joy, peace, love, abundance, and happiness. Sending you all much love and blessings. Bye for now.